Welcome to the channel, and today we'll be breaking down one of Eminem's best guest verse ever. I'm not talking about in the past few years, I'm talking about one of Eminem's all-time best verses. Hello everyone, while we stay patiently waiting to hit 10k subscribers on ET Lifestyle, it's safe to say these guys have got it already. Today we'll be breaking down Eminem's verse on 50 Cent's Patiently Waiting from one of the best hip-hop albums of all time, Get Rich or Die Tryin. Eminem and 50 Cent have done a couple of songs together that will definitely make it into several lists of best hip-hop collaborations ever, and this is certainly one of them. Before we dive in, remember to subscribe if you're new to the channel and turn on notifications. 50 Cent had two solid verses in this song and a great hook that didn't need autotune to fit perfectly on the track, which says a lot about the quality of hip-hop music back then compared to what we hear often on the radio these days. But while 50 Cent was solid through and through on this track, Eminem, as expected, took things further with flows that are arguably some of the best ever heard on a hip-hop song, period. Before Eminem's verse begins, Eminem connects with a bridge that is perfectly in sync with the main melody of the entire track, and with a bridge like this, listeners already know that the verse that's about to drop will be out of this world.
Patiently waiting to make it through all the hating, debating whether or not you can even weather the storm.
The entire bridge perfectly matches the main melody of the song, and each line contains the same amount of syllables, which is simply a stroke of genius. And this bridge is basically Eminem relating 50 Cent's life challenges to his career. 50 Cent was shot 9 times and survived this tragic incident, and Eminem uses this to describe how 50 Cent's career also went through negative events and needed saving from an angel above, which in this case is Eminem.
As you lay on the table, they operating to save you. It's like an angel came to you sent from the heavens above.
Even in the music video of In the Club, you can see Eminem and Dr. Dre looking over 50 Cent as he was being operated on to save his life, which is a metaphor for how they saved his hip-hop career on the brink of death. Eminem's verse now starts up with shots aimed at other MCs in the game who Eminem refers to as frauds in the rap game, putting up fake personas who deliver empty lyrics on most of their tracks.
They think they're crazy, but they ain't crazy, let's face it. Shit, basically they just playing sick, they ain't shit, they ain't saying shit, spraying 50.
Of course, this could be a sub-diss aimed at the likes of Ja Rule, who many described as a Tupac wannabe. Eminem suggests that he sees through rappers like this and that really, they aren't talented. Sick and crazy in Eminem's bars directly translates to talent in general and proceeds to give 50 Cent the go-ahead to expose these frauds in the rap game. This is not a battle to be handled by just 50 Cent and him, but the entire crew of Shady Aftermath.
A to the K, get in the way, I'll bring Dre and them with me and turn this day into fucking mayhem, you staying with me?
So Eminem and his entire crew are taking out all the phonies and taking over the entire rap game. This is a stretch, but this bar fits perfect with the situation at that time with what was going on between 50 Cent and Ja Rule. Eminem's rhyme scheme is crazy on this one, and in the next bars, Eminem plays on this by implying that his flow is crazy enough to leave listeners confused at this point, although it is not his intention, and this is especially true for those who try to sing along to his verse at this point.
Don't let me lose you, I'm not trying to confuse you when I let loose with this Uzi and just shoot through your Isuzu.
Of course, apart from his bars being complex, with rhymes and an intricate flow to match, this bar could also imply that his opponents are all frauds who claim to be ballin' when in reality they aren't. Remember, an Isuzu doesn't really represent luxury, does it? The next bars are some of Eminem's best ever, and some of the most memorable in his career.
Take some big and some pop and you mix them up in a pot, sprinkle a little Big L on top, what the fuck do you got?
B.I.G., Tupac and Big L are all deceased rappers that are often considered to be the greatest rappers of all time, so imagine mixing up the strengths and talents of these rappers into one. Of course, a monster of rap is bound to emerge of it all, with the best rhymes, best flows, best lyrics and overall delivery, and a monster this good will be impossible to stop regardless of your thoughts about him. Of course, this song was released in 2003 and we're pretty much in 2019, so make a quick guess of a hip-hop monster that has been impossible to stop for 20 years now. Eminem ends this section with this.
You got the realest and illest killers tied up in a knot, the juggernauts of this rap shit, like it or not.
And the bar ends with like it or not. Of course, critics have tried to push him into retirement early for decades now, but like it or not, the hip-hop monster that emerged from the mixture of B.I.G., Pac and Big L is going nowhere. A juggernaut is defined as a huge, powerful and overwhelming force, which is pretty much a description of Eminem's career in hip-hop over the years. In the next bars, Eminem talks about what it takes to be considered a rap great, which Eminem describes to be something you have to dedicate your entire life to without fear of actually losing your life.
It's like a fight to the top just to see who died for the spot. You put your life in this, nothing like surviving a shot.
Eminem says you put your life in this, nothing like surviving a shot, which is literally what happened to 50 Cent. To make it to the top, you'll have to throw everything you've got at it, even if it means literally surviving gunshot wounds to make it. And this is exactly what 50 Cent had to go through, but he came back even stronger, and so far has released one of, if not the greatest hip-hop debut album in the United States. 50 Cent came out the gate hot, and even Eminem has said it in several interviews that even him, with his strong come up with the Slim Shady LP, didn't come out as hot as 50 Cent did with Get Rich or Die Tryin. The whole fight to the top is also similar to tower fights in fighting video games. For those of you familiar with video games like Mortal Kombat, in arcade mode, to be the Mortal Kombat champion, you'll have to fight to the top starting with easier opponents at the bottom and then walking your way up to the main boss, often Shao Kahn, at the top of the tower. And Eminem adds that other rappers in the game should have known what was coming as soon as 50 Cent signed the record deal with Shady Aftermath in 2002.
Y'all know what time it is, soon as 50 signs on his dot.
As discussed earlier, 50 Cent walked into the game hot as hell, just 1 year after he signed with Shady. And Get Rich or Die Tryin is also one of the best-selling hip-hop albums of all time, and also performed exceptionally outside the United States. 50 Cent wasn't just some big fish in the United States alone. He earned worldwide recognition with his debut studio album Get Rich or Die Tryin, and In Da Club, for instance, achieved worldwide success and went platinum in Australia, Denmark, Italy, New Zealand, the United Kingdom and the United States. The next bars made reference to the tragic events of 9/11 in 2001.
Shit, what you know about death threats, cause I get a lot. Shady Records was 80 seconds away from the towers. Them cowards fought with the wrong building, they meant to hit ours.
Eminem had previously dressed as Osama bin Laden in the music video for Without Me, and as a result, there was a rumor that the terrorist organization Al-Qaeda sent death threats to Eminem because of his depiction of Osama in his music video. Eminem in this bar could be hinting that the planes were actually meant to hit the Shady Records offices, which is suggested to be close to the Twin Towers. In addition, it could also imply that due to the amount of truth and realness of artists on the Shady Aftermath, the government meant to silence them by sending planes to hit the offices of Shady Records, but due to its proximity to the Twin Towers, they missed and hit the wrong buildings. This also makes sense here because there are conspiracy theories out there that suggest that the government had a hand in the tragic 9/11 incident. Eminem ends the verse with some intricate play on rhymes.
Better evacuate all children. Nuclear showers, there's nothing spookier. You're now about to witness the power of fucking.
Eminem rhymes nuclear shower with spookier you now and power, which all builds from the previous bar containing the rhymes of towers and cowards, all constructed in an unusual manner that works brilliantly. Overall, this was a genius level verse from Eminem, and even 50 Cent's verses were as solid as they come. But this wasn't released in the age of music streams, and Patiently Waiting, despite not being released as a single from the album, managed to chart in the United States R&B/hip-hop charts at number 56. If this was released in this era of music streams, of course this would have been a top 10 US Hot 100 hit, and many hip-hop songs that have had even less bars in recent years make it into the top 10, so of course this is a no-brainer. If you'd like to support the channel, consider donating to our PayPal at the link in the description of this video, and be sure to check out our other lyrics breakdown of Eminem songs and verses. So far, we've broken down a couple of iconic songs from Eminem, including the likes of Legacy, Believe, Best Friend, Medicine Man, No Apologies, and many more. And I'll be creating a playlist containing all the lyrics breakdown we have done so far on the channel. Be sure to check this out at the link that pops up at the top right corner now, and remember to subscribe if you haven't for many more content like this coming your way in the future. Thanks to you all once again.